Elementary school is important and sets the foundation. Middle school is really a review of elementary school with a little bit of harder concepts and more critical thinking skills. High school is really what counts. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mandy and we are going to be talking about homeschooling through the high school years and some of the things that I have learned through high schooling 9th grade for the first couple of months. And yeah, we're gonna discuss some things that kind of took me by surprise and took my student by surprise. If it's your first time here, I want to welcome you to my channel. Make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button, and down below in the description box there is a free Facebook group link. There's almost 2,000 of us in that group and we just love to chit chat all day long and talk about curriculum, and we've been really helping out a lot of brand new homeschool parents. So if you want to come and say hi, make sure you hit that link down below. So let's talk about high school. As a lot of you guys know, we use My Father's World for our spine, and he is in the ancient history and literature curriculum this year. I thought it was a great way to start it off. I love that they are starting a whole 4-year history cycle with this. They are using the Knotgrass textbooks for history. So he's got, I think, three Knotgrass history textbooks. That is a mouthful. And I love how this is set up. This is the first time I've got to use Knotgrass history books. I love the way that they are set up. My son loves it. He is a huge history buff, and I've said that before in other videos, but he really likes history. So for me, nailing the history part of homeschool is really important because it is one of the subjects he really enjoys. So it's one of the things that we sit down together with every year and we kind of go over just to make sure that he is, you know, good with it and that he's gonna like it. And I like to look at the textbooks before I purchase anything. So he was really excited to start another cycle of world history. So we are in the ancient history for this entire year, and he loves ancient Egypt. And we are just now hitting ancient Egypt about 4 weeks in now, I think we are. I think we're 4 weeks in. And that brings me to the first big thing that I have learned about high school and homeschooling. The hours are longer, and this is one of those things you really have to prepare yourself for. We run on a routine in my house, and anything that kind of comes up that's a little bit different in that routine has the potential to kind of throw everything out of whack. So if you're like me and you kind of run your whole household on a routine or a schedule, just know if you're coming up to high school, just give yourself a buffer of a few extra hours when you are going into high school. The subjects are going to take more time, and if your state is like mine, you have to have so many hours on record for that subject to count for a credit. So I have to have 100 and some odd hours for my son recorded to have that count toward his graduation credit. So right now we are writing down when we start and when we stop, and I'm keeping kind of like a loose record of that with our attendance. And that's kind of helping me keep track of everything. For me, I think really when it comes down to it, he's working about 2 to 3 hours longer than he was in 8th grade. My Father's World curriculum has this really beautiful way of kind of increasing little by little, especially in the middle school years, to where it doesn't feel so overwhelming in 9th grade when there is what feels like a lot. And the other thing is the first couple weeks of My Father's World 9th grade, it's even like a gradual build up to all of the things that they're going to be doing. So they don't even do every single subject that first week. They do kind of like an outline, and then they go a little bit more each week, and they kind of build up the 9th grader to that full schedule. So you're not just starting, you know, a whole, you know, year's worth of stuff right at the beginning. So it's less overwhelming, and I really appreciate that softer approach. Another thing that I have learned is that there are higher expectations. Now that's something that I think really we just expect more when we're talking about high school. And I have said it before in my videos, but elementary school is important and sets the foundation. Middle school is really a review of elementary school with a little bit of harder concepts and more critical thinking skills. High school is really what counts. Nobody is ever going to ask you for records for 4th grade, but when your child is graduating and you're trying to get order a diploma or something, most of the time nobody's ever going to ask for your kids' elementary school records. They're going to ask for high school records. They just want that high school transcript. So that's another reason why I try to calm parents' fears about homeschooling when they're young, because I'm not saying it doesn't matter, okay? Before you eat me alive in the comments, I'm not saying that it doesn't matter. It's the foundation and the building blocks of their learning and their education, and it is fundamental. But it's not anything that we need to stress over majorly, because what really matters is 9th through 12th grade. So let's talk about the higher expectations that are there for 9th grade. I totally expected that, and I, at the beginning of the year, sat down with my 14-year-old and I said, okay, look, his name is Josh, and I said, look, Josh, you have now gotten to the point where you are in high school. There's going to be more work and there's going to be higher expectations. The high school years are really the building blocks and the foundations of the preparation for college. And we're going to be learning a lot of things in high school that is going to be college prep. But there is a higher expectation when we're talking about high school. And I as a parent expect more out of him, and the curriculum standards are going to be higher and expect more out of him as well. And that's good. That's a good thing. You know, it puts a little bit more pressure on him, helps prepare him for college, and helps prepare him for the eventual job that he's going to have. So I do suggest that at the beginning of the year that you sit down with your child, as I did with my son Josh, and kind of outline, like, look, they're going to expect more out of you. You're going to be working more hours. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. And you're going to do fine at this. I'm here to help you with this as your parent, and we're going to do this together. So something that really took me by surprise, which is number 3, is my son is getting up earlier to start school earlier. So he's taking more responsibility, and I noticed this with Josh a couple of weeks ago. So he is in karate. That is one of his extracurriculars and part of his gym credits, his PE credit. He is in Okinawa Kabuto, and he loves it. Like, it is his passion. It is the one thing. It is like, you know how every kid has their thing? That's his thing. He absolutely loves it, and my youngest is in it with him, and they practice together. They work together every day. But I've noticed that the last couple of weeks, he has been getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go running outside because it's been very hot. We live by the ocean in North Carolina. It's very, very hot here. Very, very humid. It reminds me so much of when I lived in Florida. It's just gross. It's gross hot right now. So he's been getting up early to beat the heat and go running and then go work out outside. And by doing this, he is being very disciplined. He is being very self-motivated, and he's taking initiative, and that's helping him start school earlier, which he has been enjoying, because when he starts earlier, he finishes earlier, and then he has more of his day to himself. So I asked my son to give me a couple of things that have been surprising to him, and I thought sharing these might be interesting to you guys, just to hear his perspective. So I asked him, what has been surprising about high school for you for this year so far? And the first thing he said was, I thought it would be harder. So I didn't try to scare him or anything, but I was very realistic with him and told him what the expectations would be. And he kind of went into it thinking that it was going to be hard, and he likes a challenge. So I know not all kids are like that, but my two, they look at things like that and are like, you know, they kind of go head down and focus, and he's been doing very well. His grades are really good, and that makes me really proud as a mom. And he actually said, I'm surprised it wasn't harder. He thought that some of these things would be even harder than what they are. And to me, that's good. You know, it shows that he is really thriving, and that's impressive to me. He also said that he is surprised that he is enjoying the subjects as much as he is. So for me, that was actually surprising, because this was my kid who didn't like school. Seeing how far he's come from that to being a child who really cares about his grade, who really puts so much of himself and puts forth so much work and effort now here, you know, 6 years later, and seeing how far he's come makes me so proud as a mom. And he works so hard at his grades, and hearing him tell me today how much he is enjoying the subjects and enjoying his high school curriculum makes me so happy as a mom. So he said that right now his favorite subjects are logic and history. He really loves those not grasped history books from My Father's World. My Father's World did a great job picking those out. If anything, I think it was worth it just for the not grasped history books. I know you guys a lot of you are going to be coming up on high school here pretty soon, and you probably don't know what to expect, and I want to kind of take you with me to help prepare you for this, because I believe that preparation can make all the difference. Mental preparation can do wonders when we're talking about education. So if you are better prepared, your kids are going to do better, and you are going to do better, and you guys will thrive in your home. So that is all I have for today. I will do probably another high school update here soon. But yeah, this is kind of our beginning of the year first check-in type of thing. If you guys have any questions, pop them down below in the comments, and I will do my best to answer all of them. And there will be other moms down in the comments as well to help you guys out. And of course, there is our Facebook group too, where I have been posting and talking, and my Instagram, I've been posting a lot and talking in my DMs with a lot of you guys about homeschool here lately too. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Happy homeschooling.